Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to Yonhap News Agency, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has pledged his unwavering support for Moscow in a congratulatory letter sent to Russian President Vladimir Putin on the occasion of Russia Day. In the message reported by North Korea's state media, Kim extended his warmest congratulations on Russia's National Day, which commemorates the 1990 declaration of Russian state sovereignty. Kim emphasized that the relationship between the two nations is being further strengthened into sincere, devoted relations of comradely trust and alliance, marking a new chapter in their history. He credited this growing bond to both countries honoring their obligations under the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Treaty signed during their Pyongyang summit in June 2024. Kim reaffirmed that fully supporting Moscow's internal and external policies remains the unwavering stance of both himself and the North Korean government. The letter, dated June 12th, was delivered to a Russian Foreign Ministry official by Sin Hong-chol, North Korea's ambassador to Russia. According to a report by the Liberty Times, the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee approved its version of the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, on June 11, authorizing $750 million in military assistance for Ukraine under the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. This move represents a direct congressional pushback against the Trump administration's efforts to cut back support for Kyiv amidst its defense against Russian invasion. The Senate's $1.15 trillion defense bill also prohibits using any authorized funds to recognize Russian sovereignty over any occupied Ukrainian territory and directs the defense establishment to provide intelligence support to Ukraine. Notably, the bill proposes renaming the Department of Defense back to its historical name, the Department of War, reflecting a change supported by Trump but heavily opposed by Democrats. The legislation, which also authorizes multi-year procurement of advanced weapon systems like F-35 and F-15EX fighters, faces several hurdles before becoming law. It must pass full-floor votes in both the House and the Senate, be reconciled in a conference committee, and finally go to President Trump for his signature or veto. According to NBC News, Apple announced a major overhaul of its virtual assistant, Siri, at its annual Worldwide Developers Conference. The assistant is being renamed Siri AI as part of a significant push into artificial intelligence. Mike Rockwell, Apple's vice president of Siri engineering, stated that Siri AI will draw on both on-device data and the open web to answer questions and complete daily tasks, such as finding concert dates or planning events. This upgrade marks the most substantial revamp of Siri since its integration into Apple devices in 2011, placing it in direct competition with modern AI tools like ChatGPT. Apple previously partnered with Google to utilize its Gemini model to help power this new version. While consumers show mixed enthusiasm for AI integrations, app downloads for chatbots remain high. Craig Federighi, Apple's senior vice president of software engineering, noted that Siri AI will be available later this year on iPhones, iPads, and Macs. It will initially launch in English, but will not be immediately available in the European Union or China, while the company works through regulatory requirements. According to Yonhap News Agency, the Seoul Central District Court is set to deliver its verdict on Friday in the trial of former South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol. Yoon faces charges of ordering a military drone infiltration into North Korea in October 2024. Prosecutors argue that the operation was intended to provoke Pyongyang and establish a pretext for his subsequent declaration of martial law on December 3, 2012. Special counsel Cho Yoon-suk's team has demanded a 30-year prison sentence for Yoon on charges that include benefiting the enemy and abuse of power. arguing the operation heightened inter-Korean military tensions and leaked military secrets. The court will also sentence other key figures indicted in the case, including former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, former Defense Counterintelligence Command head Yeol In-hyung, and former Drone Operations Command Chief Kim Yong-dae. Yoon, who is currently in custody, faces multiple criminal trials related to the failed martial law bid, including an insurrection charge for which he was sentenced to life imprisonment in February and has since appealed. According to Al Jazeera, World Cup 2026 co-hosts, Mexico kicked off the tournament in style with a dominant 2-0 victory over South Africa at the iconic Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. The opening goal of the tournament came in the 9th minute, when Jimenez and Quinones drilled a low shot through the legs of South African goalkeeper Ronwen Williams, sending the capacity crowd of over 80,000 into a frenzy. Mexico capitalized on their momentum and further solidified their lead in the 67th minute, as Wolverhampton Wanderers forward Raul Jimenez headed home a cross from Roberto Alvarado at the far post. South Africa struggled to find their rhythm in the intimidating atmosphere and were heavily penalized for disciplinary infractions. Fefelo Sithole was sent off in the 49th minute, and Thembatswain followed in the 84th minute after a VAR review. Although Mexico's Cesar Montes also received a late red card, the hosts secured a smooth start to their Group A campaign. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.